and also on her way to Tier 2. So Bunny here on the way to Tier 2 right now. Meanwhile, Chef Elite is busy getting some Shooter Boys. He took his time to get all the way up to Tier 2, got a Weird Boy, and is now replacing that squad of Shooter Boys. Weird Boy getting some nice shots out there, just kind of knocking back some guardsmen. That's looking fine and all that. On the left-hand side, we can see that it looks like the Sentinel is joining up with these guardsmen, perhaps, to provide a unified front. We'll have to see. Sentinel moving on in. Inquisitor as well, just kind of sneaking around here. Nobody really engaging each other yet, just kind of little poking back and forth. Oh, and we can see that shot from the Weird Boy was intercepted by the terrain there on its way towards the Sentinel. Pretty good damage there if he can get it off. Oh, is he gonna fire? No, he's just kind of standing around doing nothing. There he goes. Nice little Weird Boy shot there, doing a little bit of damage. And while all that's going on here, we can see, ooh, Hammer of the Witches on top of the Weird Boy. Weird Boy taking quite a bit of damage there while he's busy being stunned a little bit. Looks like he's trying to throw back some Warp Vomit there, knocking back Mrs. Inquisitor and covering his retreat quite a bit there. The War Boss, however, perhaps forgotten about, was kind of left back here bumping around with all of these troops, and it looks like he was killed as a result of all that, so that is very, very unfortunate here. These Slugger Boys, meanwhile, are just kind of hanging back. We do have... looks like all of these troops are moving in on the Slugger Boys for the time being. They're just going to have to retreat on out of there. And now, finishing the job started by those guardsmen earlier in the match, looks like Bunny is going to be able to burn down the rest of this gen farm. That is very unfortunate, but, you know, Chef Elite has already gotten to Tier 2, so, you know, it'll hurt, though. He's going to have to repair that at some point. You can see these Catachan Devils here have been fully upgraded. They do have a Melt-A-Gun. We can see a little bit of the Weird Boy right now engaging. A good split of the units here to try and avoid taking damage. That's not so bad, but it is retreating. And now we can see Inquisitor winding up once again for the Hammer of the Witches, dropping that right on the head of the Weird Boy, doing a little bit of damage and kind of stunning him for a bit. But, again, just going to have to back on out of there. So, the victory points right now are still 2-0. Looking way down here to the left, we can see the Shooter Boys are starting a brand new front here. And we have a drop coming on the field right now. Could it be? Yes, it is! A Bane Wolf being called in by MeteorvsBunny. That is a global ability by the commander ability from the Inquisitor. You can see here, gooping up the battlefield with corrosive burning chemicals, spraying down all of these troops. The Shooter Boy sticking around just long enough to finish off that Sentinel. That's looking pretty good there, and the Bane Wolf inflicting some massive casualties on them as well. So things are looking pretty interesting right now. Score is currently tied 1-1. Looks like the Weird Boy is going to finish the cap and put it back 2-1 in favor of Chef once again. I love the way this Bane Wolf looks. Notice how it has all of these tanks presumably filled with corrosive chemicals and all sorts of eco-unfriendly things in there. It's pretty neat. It is based off of the Chimera chassis. Oh, and by the way, speaking of Chimera, we have a Chimera on the field right now. Once again, you can see they're very similar models, but distinct. Chemicals versus lasers. Looking onto the left-hand side of the field right now, we can see these flamethrower upgraded guardsmen recapping that victory point once again. The Bane Wolf is continuing to hang out in the front right now, just kind of spraying down these Slugger Boys. You can see these Slugger Boys have been upgraded to have a knob. And we do have some Tank Busters on the field right now. So, Tank Busters, armed with these nice little triple rocket launcher kind of things, are very good at taking care of tanks, as you would imagine. That is not just a clever name. And now, what is MeteorvsBunny doing? Oh no, he is completely surrounded right now. Tank Busters firing directly at his rear armor. I think he got a little overconfident with this Bane Wolf and decided to go for the kill when he should have just been kind of hanging back on the field right now. Oh, just taking tons and tons of damage. Oh no! And a total waste of a Bane Wolf right there. Obviously, he didn't expect to bump directly into Tank Busters there. Perhaps he mistook them for another unit or something, but that was a total waste of a Bane Wolf. However, there is still a Chimera on the battlefield, so not all is lost. You can see these Catachan Devils hanging out here right now, capping this victory point. Once again, threatening a 3-cap for MeteorvsBunny. There is a rocket barrage from those Tank Busters that just narrowly missed hitting that Chimera. And now the Orc forces from Chef Elite are moving in force. He is angry, and oh no! He was pretty angry, but unfortunately he just kind of stopped his charge short as he bumped into that power node there. Instead, just going to have to shoot away out of the Catachan Devils here. Moving them aside. Looking more towards the left, we can see that the Chimera has charged on in right now. All lasers ablazing, especially this heavy bolter in the front right now, forcing all of these Shooter Boys right now to retreat on out of there, defending his power generators, defending the victory point. On the right-hand side here, we see, while I was looking at the other side, somehow it looks like the poor War Boss here charged on in a little bit more than he should have and was picked off by a combination of Inquisitor and Catachan Devils. You can see these Tank Busters right now guarding this entrance here pretty well with that knockback from the rockets there as they're capping this victory point. But they're pretty alone right now, and they are definitely surrounded here. Ooh, we got some Weird Boy Vomit and some Slugga Boys right now. Slugga Boy is engaging in melee, but taking quite a bit of damage, and it looks like the Chimera is chasing after the last remaining Slugga Boy. Slugga Boy being pursued by Inquisitor, and the Slugga Boy stands still for no reason whatsoever, and unfortunately, he's completely gunned down by all of that. Why? Why did that little Slugga Boy not run away? Who knows? I guess that kind of reminds me of an old Japanese tale. You know, Slugga Boy's running away. He looks to his left, he sees a Chimera. He looks to his right, he sees an Inquisitor wielding a sword, and he has no hit points. He looks down to his feet, and he sees a single delicious strawberry growing on a vein. And so he picks it and he eats it, and it's the most delicious strawberry he's ever eaten. It looks like the War Boss now charging on in, looking for a little bit of revenge here perhaps, and getting stopped short there by the Hammer of the Witches, taking quite a bit of damage, and just going to have to chase away this Inquisitor right now. But this Chimera is just blasting away at the War Boss. That's not looking too good. We'll have to see what else is going to happen there. The War Boss is just kind of hanging out here, taking a lot of damage. Okay, here we go. Tank Busters moving in. This is exactly what we want to see. Rocket Barrage from the Tank Busters. Unfortunately, a little bit off center there. I guess it ended up hitting Adrastea, but she does have an Inferno Pistol and a I always screw up the pseudo-Latin on here. A Liber Heresius. A heresy book, I guess it would be the Latin translation of that, but it's kind of pseudo-Latin. You can see a little bit of Warp Vomit right now, kind of slowing and stunning this Inquisitor a bit, just kind of holding her back. Oh, and just kind of knocking her aside, the Weird Boy doing a little bit of damage there. More to the left, we can see Shooter Boys engaging all of these guardsmen hanging out in the tower right now. Doing quite a bit of damage, actually. You can see guardsmen just kind of defenestrating like mad. Yes, that is a real word. And right now, looks like the Inquisitor. Oh my god, Inquisitor upgrading the Purgatus. Purgatus, of course, launches a huge flaming circle around here, stunning and damage everybody. It is a awesome, awesome ability. You can see here using that Hammer of Witches once again to stun the Weird Boy. And the Weird Boy, oh no! He's just going to have to retreat away like crazy here. We have all of these Shooter Boys moving on in. Catachan Devils here. The score right now is currently tied 1-1, but it looks like we've got Catachan Devils here doing quite a bit of damage to all of these Shooter Boys. The Inquisitor moving on in, the Chimera moving on in, putting a lot of pressure on these guys here. And we have a Purgatus! Oh my god, look at the heat wave just rolling around her. Oh man, and the Purgatus wrecks all of those units. Chef Elite down to just a few 2 units, and that is a good game. In fact, it's not a good game. Oh, and it looks like we have a minus 10 points right at the end for bad sportsmanship from Chef Elite. Oh well, always. I assume the lesson here is always expect that your bad manners will be broadcasted the entire universe. Sportsmanship always a must. But either way, congratulations to MeteorvsBunny for winning the UK tournament held by THQ Insider. So I believe MeteorvsBunny is going to take home a copy of Homefront. Once again, I am Harlequin. Thank you very much for watching this. If you enjoy this stuff, please feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter at HarlequinCasts. And yeah, giving away some prizes this Friday, by the way. Going to be giving away 2 DLC codes to 2 random Twitter followers for the single player. More on that tomorrow as I give them away. Anyhow, you guys are great. Have a wonderful day.